Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Java with the Jims. My name is Jim Meyer, broker associate at Remax Gold, and this is my good friend Jim Felipe from the Felipe Law Firm. And you know what? I have referred him a lot of clients, and none of them have gone to jail. We've been scaring people all week about things that can go wrong if you don't hire an attorney or you don't hire a realtor. Jim, how can we should show this at Halloween because it's so scary. What is the what are we going to talk about today?
Yeah. We've talked about, you need to work with an attorney, you need to work with a real estate agent. And, it's not just any real estate agent, it's not just any attorney. There's a couple of things you need to look for. One is it's someone that I get along with, because you need to have a professional that you respect, that you work well with, because if you don't, that whole transaction is going to go, not be a pleasant experience. But you also need to make sure that they're looking out for your best interests, and that they're equipped to handle your transaction. I can't tell you how many folks out there go out and take their one or two classes that they have to take in pre-licensing education, go take a test, and they've spent all of about, I don't know, 10 hours, 20 hours on pre-licensing education. Now they have a real estate license and they're experts at real estate. And I can tell you, having gone through that process myself, I was nowhere near an expert when I went through that process. I didn't even know what a contract, even looked like. And so be careful of working with your newer agents unless they're part of a bigger team. Be careful of working with an agent that hasn't dealt with your particular situation. Probate's one of those. And be careful, because you want to work with someone that understands what you're going through, understands the process, but also is doing this as their job. No offense to those agents that are out there doing this as a part-time, but the real estate has been a dynamic industry for what, 10, 20 years now. And if you're not in it every day, things are changing that you don't know about, and it's going to pass you by. And if you're going to represent a client and you haven't done a deal in a year or two,
It's
you're
it's
putting
a whole
yourself.
different world than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we had COVID, and during COVID, there were people that thought, "Oh, nobody's buying houses," and which is stupid because I was selling houses where we'd have 25 offers on one house. So how can you say no one's buying a house? But because people thought that, people weren't putting their house on the market, and you had 3% interest rates, so it was the perfect storm for us to help clients sell houses for much more than they were worth at the time. I mean, they're worth what a ready, willing, and able buyer is going to pay, but the prices shot up. They've shot down a bit. They've not crashed the way people predicted. And everything I'm talking about right now is stuff that you might not know if you stopped selling real estate and you went to work at Walmart and now you're back in. So yeah, you do want to work with somebody who is doing this every day.
Yeah, having that real estate license doesn't necessarily make you a professional. It's doing this as a profession, and doing all the education and getting the experience that makes you the professional. That license just allows you to do it. It doesn't make you the professional. The same thing goes with attorneys too, right? I mean, the pre-licensing education for an attorney is a little bit more rigorous, but the exam is a little more rigorous. But I mean, the same thing applies there. And just making sure you're dealing with an attorney that understands your issue and is able to manage it.
Well, that's the conundrum that I've asked myself. How come it's so difficult to become an attorney, but there are a lot of idiot attorneys? Can we talk about that tomorrow? Ladies and gentlemen, that was another exciting episode of Job with the Jibs. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.